Welcome to Gold Fever Adventures. I'm Jack Tucker. I'm out here today on a private mining claim. It's the Mojave Gold Prospectors. They've got a outing here today. So I came out with the group, and I figured what I'm going to do today, I'm going to do me a little bit of dry washing, and then I'll probably maybe do a little bit of metal detecting. So the first thing I got to do is find a place that I want to set up the dry washer. So we'll walk around and maybe look at some of the areas of why I'm going to dig and what I'm going to dig for. And we'll see if we can find us any gold. But anyways, that's today's plans. I want to thank you guys coming along, sharing all these adventures. Please like, share, subscribe. And, well, let's just go see. Maybe we can find some gold today. Thanks for coming along, guys.
Load up the truck. It's time to roll. With hearts so wild and a come and go. Chasing the gold.
Well, so everybody's parked up there, and I walk down into this wash right here. Now, this is all tailings in here is what this tells me. There's been a lot of digging in here. You can see a lot of people have been in here digging. Doesn't mean they've been finding any gold, but there's a lot of evidence. There's holes and cuts and stuff all over up and through here. It's about, what is the time? It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. It's a beautiful day. So, looking down and through here, you can sure see piles galore where people's been here. If you look at the rocks, of course you've got some cleachy looking stuff here. Cleachy stuff here. You know, these kind of look good gravel. See, that's kind of some hard-packed rock right there. But they've dug in here. Why is it? Doesn't mean that they found any gold, but some people dug in the higher benches up here. You can see. I'm just walking around. There's quartz all over the ground here. Granites, quartz. And there's another wash over here. Oh, there's dig holes in through here where people's dug at too. All through here. Holes everywhere up and down through here. But see, this wash to me, this wash is a little bit lower down than the wash on the other side is. And it goes up further up there. But this wash to me doesn't look like it has a lot of the gravels in it, like that wash from the other side does. Seems to be more gravels from the other side. I mean, rocks, you know. You like rocks. Let me walk back over here to this other side. I didn't know I was going to be doing a lot of walking today. Didn't know I was going to be doing a lot of walking today. Okay, so see, there's just more rocks over here. Bigger rocks. So I'm thinking I'm going to set up over here. And these bigger rocks, there's some quartz right there. See, if you flip a quartz upside down, see that brown and orange? That just means there's a lot of iron in this ground that's leached into this quartz right here. Examine your quartz. You like to see stringers of this orange and red going through there. That's not really nice looking quartz though, but let's continue on looking through here. Let's see where I'm going to set up at. Let's just walk down here a little bit. There's another big piece of quartz right there. See, this one doesn't have a lot of the iron on the bottom of it when you flip it over. Here's trumpet plants. There's a bunch of trumpet plants in through here. The whole place is full of trumpet plants. So it's kind of coming down a hill right here. Everything's coming down. A lot of this is all tailings in here. A lot of this could have been worked by the old timers. Let's just walk down here. Let's just walk down here a little bit. More tailings. These are all tailings. Piles and piles of tailings. They've had dry washers galore in through here. So they must have been finding some decent gold. Nice big cut. There's another piece of quartz. really not iron, but look at the dirt here. See how it changes colors? Now here's some better looking orange quartz. Better looking quartz, but this dirt right through here is kind of more reddish in color. I can see why they've dug in through here. These are all tailings. It's all tailings. They've dug all of this down. All of this down. See, this dirt gets a little more redder. I can see why they moved in here. So I'm thinking I want to get down to a low spot down here. Like an old, that's a pretty big fire ring right there, isn't it? Almost looks like that could be an old Arasta something right there, because that's pretty big. Probably a big old fire ring. They had a lot of people probably in here digging. There's a road I can come down on right there. Of course, I can probably come down on that road there too. Yeah, tailings galore. But again, this whole kind of thing is kind of coming down. And what I want to do is get a spot that's pretty flat. But they've worked us all the way down through here. All the way down through here, they have worked this. Now, as you notice, the further you get down here, so your larger rocks are starting to go away. You don't have those larger rocks anymore. So it tells me I want to work higher up someplace. I am away from the vehicle too now, so I'm going to find me a spot up here in between where everybody else is kind of dug at, I guess. And find me a spot to dig at. This is a mound of dirt right here that's probably been formed from the wash coming down. This to me doesn't look like tailings. This looks like material that's been floating in. And it's nice and red. I would move this right here. I think I'm going to drive down and set up right here. All right, I got my dry washer set up here. But before I dry wash, I like to kind of maybe run a detector over this area really quick. So let's do that really quick, kind of run my detector over. Actually, you know I'm only spooking with you. I have a real detector. So I'm going to run this over with here just for a moment. Just curiosity. And then what I'm going to do, I'll talk about the dry washers and we'll discuss about dry washing a little bit. So let me do this first though. I'm going to be using this GPX 6000 Mine Lab. And then probably later on I'm going to go do some serious detecting, walking all over the place looking for some meteorites. But right now, I just want to run this over really quick. So let me do that. Too close to that dry washer. This is the pile I'm going to go through here. Too close to that dry washer again. Now this bank right here looks good to get into also. Well, I do got a signal here. It's not sounding like gold though. It looks like it is kind of in this. Might be some tailings up here. Outside of the hole. Now, I didn't plan on really getting any targets here. Well, I must have had it. Okay, it's in my scoop. Chances are it's going to be a piece of lead or a piece of tin can. I bet almost a piece of tin can. Could even be a BB. That looks like that's what that is. A large BB. Okay. So I'm done detecting for now. It is just a BB. Just a BB. You like dowsing? Do you really believe in dowsing rods? I know some people do. Okay, is there any gold here where I'm going to dig at? Okay, they crossed. Does that mean there's gold here then? I say yes. Oh, that's harder than I thought it was. That is pretty hard packed. That is pretty hard packed. So what that means, I got to move some of this dirt so my holes can fit down in there. Okay. I like to prime the box, so to speak. Okay. All right. Whew. Oh man, now I'm already tired. Okay. Whew. Okay. Dry washers. When you're out in the desert, dry washers are probably about your best piece of equipment because there's no water out here. And you can haul water out here in the desert, but this dry dirt, that'll suck up that water really quick. Plus you got to deal with the muck and all that mess. So dry washers may not be as efficient as running it wet, but you can do more throughput with the dry washer. So that's why the old timers use dry washers out here. There's a lot of gold left out here in the desert too. So I'm using a Royal dry washer. Let's talk about that. You have really two main manufacturers of dry washers. You got Keen and you got Royal. Those are your main ones that are out there. They're both pretty well competitive. Royals are aluminum, Keens are that space age plastic, whatever you call it, polyurethane. I don't know what the heck you call it, if it's a plastic anyways. Some people say the plastic creates a static charge, and that static charge can help aid in gold recovery. The other thing is your riffle design. Now, I notice on this one here, it doesn't have a dead airspace. According to this manufacturer, you don't need a dead airspace. I disagree with that. You seriously do need a dead airspace, because what's happening is that dead airspace is right in front of all the riffles. It's only about 1/8 of an inch is all you need. But when that gold gets stuck down in that dead airspace, it ain't going to blow itself back out. So if you don't have a dead airspace, well, the gold's just going to constantly just keep moving around. So you want that dead airspace so the gold will stay in there once it's behind those riffles or in front of these riffles. The riffles on a dry washer are opposite than that on a sluice box. When we clean this up, I'll show you that. Now, your other two basic types of dry washers is one that uses like a leaf blower, and it's got a fan in here that spins, and it's a constant air, and that fan is spinning, and it's got a counterweight off on it. So the fan kind of blows all the dirt up in suspension, then the counterweight, the vibration, helps settle it out. Your other type is a puffer style dry washer, and puffers run basically on a 12-volt battery, and they've got a bellows on there that just kind of puffs, and that dirt moves down by every puff, 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 puff. So it's not a constant air. I think you might get a little bit better gold recovery with a constant air than you do with the puffer style. I also like to run my box flat as I can. The flatter that box is, the longer that material will stay up on top before it exits off to give it a chance to settle out. So puffers have a little more angle because they got to move that material down. Now, the only other thing is that basically it's all the same. Dry washers are a dry washer, so if it works for you, it works for you. I grabbed the Royal right here just because it was handy, sitting the first thing I kind of grabbed, and instead of digging in the piles, I've got them all. I got the Keens, Royals, puffers, all types of dry washers, but I'm going to use this one right here. So I need to fire this bad boy up. Hopefully my motor's going to start. I better get my pick too, and then we're going to, because this ground's harder than I thought it was, which is actually a good sign. and then I'll run some dirt. Now also, you see there's a lot of dirt clogs. Sometimes these dry washers, these hard pieces of dirt ain't going to break up. Whereas if it's in a wet system, it'll break this up. Looks like it may start to get a little damper as I get down in there. Also, with the constant air though, you got air kind of blowing on your dirt. Can kind of help dry that where a puffer ain't going to do that. If you feel it's a little damp, you can run it in your dirt again. Doesn't hurt that. Run it a couple times. Some people run it a couple times. Normally I don't run my dirt twice. There's a reason why. But since I'm right here, I got a ton of it, I'm going to do it. I'll tell you why I don't run my dirt twice. Unless it's wet. Or unless I'm bored. Or unless I have nothing else to do. It really doesn't matter. But let's say a dry washer is only getting 80% of their gold and they're losing 20%. So if I rerun my dirt to get another 80% of the 20% I lost, I'm better off just shoveling virgin material. So basically, run it and don't look back. Okay, I wanted to get into this bank a little bit here too. Now the other important thing to keep in mind, so you can see how that, not having that dead airspace, how that's just blowing right behind these riffles right here, blowing that stuff out. I may have a little bit too much air. That's the other thing you got to pay attention to, is the amount of flow of the air you're putting through there. Too much air, you're blowing it away. I can see black sands down here at the bottom dancing around. Let me show you some of this. You see how all this is blowing out right here behind this riffle? See right there? There's no dead airspace back there, so everything's just blowing out. There should be a dead airspace in there. And you can see these are black sands that are bouncing around right here. They should get up under these riffles and stay there, not just keep blowing out. That's why you lose your gold. You can tell when your box is level because the whole thing's kind of more level. But anyways, let me turn this down just a little bit. But underneath the tailings is this bank material. And this could be a pile of tailings too. Could be the back end of the tailings, but I don't see the front end from a dry washer. Generally, you got the front end will be lighter stuff and the back end will be heavier, unless, well, who knows? Just run it. Just run it all. Really, all I'm kind of doing is just kind of really just testing this ground, looking for a spot that is worthy of going to town. Plus, I'm just up here getting a little exercise, trying to give me a little bit of color. It's always nice when you get a little bit of color. Then I'm going to lift my box up just a tad too. Okay. I can see these larger rocks here have been thrown up by somebody digging in this wash. Oh man, It's better than going to the gym. You know, gold prospecting is probably about one of the only hobbies that actually can pay you back. Generally, you'll spend more equipment though on your gold recovery. I know people that go out and try to make a living out of it. It's tough to do that though. Of course, the price of gold nowadays doesn't take much to add up. Whew. You find an ounce of gold around $5,000, you'll pay for some equipment. Now, on average, let's just say you're only going to get 1 grain per every bucket of dirt you dig. You should probably get at least 1 grain every bucket you dig. If you don't, you ought to move on. 1 grain, that's 480 buckets of dirt you're going to need to get an ounce of gold. If you think about it, that's really not that much. If you get 2 grains per bucket, that's only 240 buckets. So it can add up. Even if you got a half an ounce, you know, at $2,500 an ounce, or $2,500 for half an ounce, that's pretty good. So keep digging. Yeah, I've got some larger rocks into this stuff. Which tells me it's more virgin. All right. I gotta take a break. Generally, if I'm in a wash, I'll dig from one side to the other side, make a strip. When I'm just kind of testing, you don't know what side it's coming off from. It could be coming off from this high bench. It could be coming off this bench. You don't know where. All you got to know is one thing. The gold does not come from this wash. It comes from up above, the higher hills and benches, and it works its way down into the washes with flow of water and weathering. So it's always nice to test the wash and then from there get into the banks. Look at the gold. Is it rough, chunky? Look at your black sand. Same thing. Is that black sand rough or chunky or smooth? Smooth black sand, your gold is probably going to be smooth too because it travels together. But that black sand is getting beat up and finer as it moves on down. So is the gold. You know, I did not bring me a gold pan. Did not bring me a gold pan. I'm sure somebody up there has a gold pan if I want to go pan it. I do have this big bar in case I got into some bedrock I had to break apart. And I do have this chisel, or this, what you want to call it, in case if I needed it. And I do have a vacuum, but I won't need that here. I think I'm going to clean that up. Have to just put it in a regular bucket, I guess. And go from there. Oh, I was going to show you how to clean this up too. The best way to clean these dry washers up. Okay, you should have air still flowing before you shut your motor down. So I'm going to restart my motor to show you this here. I should not shut it down yet. Just idle it down, your motor. Pop the tray open. And what you should have, if you find a little S-hook, which I had one here and I lost it, but put an S-hook right here, because when you lift this up, you could hook an S-hook right there, and this will stay up. But just open that like right there. And all you gotta do is just kind of push down and let that air from your motor push it on down. You can see black sands in here. You can see any gold, maybe if it was a big piece. Give it a few smacks. Let me shut this down. I'm going to show you this too. One thing I don't like to do is pull this tray in and out, because every time you pull it in and out, it's just basically ruining it. And eventually you're going to have to replace the cloth anyway. Okay. See, it cuts and tears every time you move it in and out. Okay, so this was dead airspace, but it's all blown away. So it's not working anymore. So, yeah, it's all just not working. It's all been blown away. I guess I put one in here a long time ago, but I'm going to have to redo it because it's not holding itself down. But so you can see when you take this out, you can see where your riffles lie at. And all you got to do is just put this about 1/8 of an inch. See, I've marked it which way this is going. And then just put about 1/8 of an inch down. But you can see this here. Now, this has a fan in here. This is a constant air fan. Or fan. Let me show you that. So if the air is coming up, it spins that fan around. And that's what's putting air up into your box. And then the counterweight on the fan is what throws that out of balance right there, what's causing the shaking action. And some dry washers, they don't have a plate in the back, and you should always have that plate in the very back. If you don't have a plate, just put you some type of plate in there, because the material's falling down, and if it just falls directly onto your carpet, those little rocks and stuff can eventually eat up your carpet in there. So put a plate on there. You'll know some of the larger dry washers I have, I've got a plate up there. Okay, put this back in its place there. Right there, lock it down. We're set to go. Take my trash. So I think what I'm going to do now is put this back away. For the time being. Don't want to lose my trusty dowsing rods. They have found me more gold. Yeah, I know you believe that. I know you believe that. I know you believe that. This is what else, if you had this S-hook here, you can bring this all the way up here like this and hook that back down there. But again, I don't have the S-hook, so I'm just going to cram that in there like that. I'm going to try and keep the legs, oops, guess not. Everything together there, but I guess that's not going to work out. Oh my goodness, this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. That's a lot of work. put my stuff in the truck here, my metal detector, so I don't get damaged. You know, $6,000 metal detector, you want to kind of protect. Whew. I need a cold drink. That's what I need. I need a cold drink. The colder the better. Cold drink. That's what I need. Got dry mouth. I got dry mouth. Okay, my bucket with my concentrates in it. I don't want it to tip over. I do have one of these special lids, these gamma lids. This is a new one. I've never used it. They twist, so if it do fall over, I won't lose all of my stuff. That's a handle, bucket handle. Set that right there. I want to scour my area, make sure I don't forget anything. You know, I always carry with me right here. So there's one of these earth magnets. I don't know why, but it's always right here in case I want to test something. I just keep that stuck in there. Okay. Okay. Again, scour my area, make sure I didn't leave nothing behind. All right, I found somebody up here that had some water. A gold pan. So let's just pan this out real quick. See, I should classify it, but I'm just curious if there's any gold in there. So real quick. Yeah, it's not looking promising. It's not looking promising. I see some chunkier black sands in there though. Bigger black sands, but I don't see no gold. Well, there's a flick of gold right there. A flick. It's what I would call a flick. Oh, there's a couple flicks. Oh, there's a couple flicks and okay. Let me set this over here in his truck. Tell him I left a little bit of gold in the pan there for him. Not enough to haul home. No. Not enough worth even go finding a sniffer bottle for. It's got a low tire. So I figured I better not go too much further. I don't want to ruin the tires. I don't know if there's a hole in it, if I'm lost air or what, but I might have to change the spare on this bad boy. May have to put a spare on this bad boy. I don't know if I ran over something or not. Dang, but definitely losing air. I don't think it would get me back to the highway. The only gold I found, I give away. It wasn't that much dry washing. But anyways, I'm off to the next adventure. I guess I'll go to town and see if I can fix a flat. So anyways, thanks for coming along, guys, sharing on these adventures. I'll tell you what, when you're out in the desert, you should be more prepared, and I should be more prepared. I should have had an air compressor or something with me, so lesson learned. Anyways, guys, all take care of yourselves, and until our paths cross again, thanks for watching, everyone.
Load up a truck, it's time to roll, with hearts so wild and a come and go. Chasing the goal, we're ready for the thrill. Through mountains and rivers, we'll climb every hill. With the sun on our backs, we take our stand, uncovering treasures buried in this land. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. With metal detectors singing in the breeze, we dig for the fortune, uncovering keys. With a gold pan in hand, we sift through the dirt. Each little glimmer makes our hearts surge. By the firelight's glow, our laughter rings as we dream of the riches tomorrow brings. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. By the firelight's glow, our laughter rings as we dream of the riches tomorrow brings. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams, we'll go far. This gold fever's got us running wild. In the heart of the land, we feel like a child. Adventures await in the great unknown. Together we chase dreams, never alone. Never alone. So here's to the nights beneath the stars. With our hearts full of dreams, we'll go far.